Today we're going to learn how to subtract integers without using any models. So first thing we need to talk about are the rules. And the rules for subtracting integers, we call them keep, change, change. And so what that means is the first thing you're going to do is keep the sign of the first number in the problem. So whatever the first number is, it just stays the same. The second step is to change the subtraction sign to an addition sign. The third step is to change the sign of the second number to the opposite sign. So if it was positive, it's now going to become negative, and if it was negative, it's now going to become positive. And then step 4, you're going to use the rules for adding integers. So essentially, when you are subtracting integers, what you are really doing is adding the opposite. Adding the opposite. Okay, so right here we have our example. We have -7 minus -4. If you use keep, change, change, okay, didn't mean to move that. If you use keep, change, change, you keep the -7, you change the subtraction to addition, and then you change the -4 to a +4. And then now you use the rules for adding integers. So we have -7 plus a +4. They have different signs, so we have to take their difference. So 7 minus 4, that gives you 3. And then you keep the sign of the larger number, which is 7, and it's negative, so your answer is negative. So essentially, subtraction doesn't truly exist. What you're really doing is adding the opposite. That's what subtraction is adding the opposite. And you can use the rules keep, change, change to help you rewrite subtraction problems as addition problems. So the whole thing is to rewrite that subtraction problem as an addition problem, and then you follow the rules for adding integers at the end. So everything is really an integer addition problem once you make these changes first. So let's do a few examples. All right, our first one, -2 minus 3. Remember, we have to do keep, change, change. So this is -2. We're going to keep the -2. We are changing the subtraction to be addition, and this is a +3. Don't let the subtraction sign throw you off. The subtraction sign is separate from the sign of this number. This is +3. If it helps you, you can draw parentheses around that. So -2 minus +3. Well, here it's +3, so it's going to become -3. And now we follow the rules for adding integers. They have the same signs, so we're going to sum. So 2 plus 3, that's 5. And we keep the sign. They're both negative, so it is -5. Another example, -11 minus +4. Keep, change, change. -11, we keep it, so it's -11. Change your subtraction to be addition, and here this is +4, it now becomes -4. And now we're just back to an integer addition problem. They're both negative, they have the same sign, so we're going to sum. So 11 plus 4, that's 15. Both numbers are negative, so it is -15. A couple more examples. +3 minus +19. +3 minus +19. Keep, change, change. Again, if you want to, you can put the parentheses to help you remember that's a +19. So +3 stays the same. Change that subtraction to be addition. And then we have to change the sign on this one, so it's going to become -19. Now we have an integer addition problem. So we follow those rules. This one's positive, this one's negative, so we're going to have to take their difference because they have different signs. So 19 minus 3, that's 16. But then we're going to keep the sign of the larger number. Who's larger? 19, and it is negative, so it is negative 16. Next example over here. Negative 15 minus positive 25. Again, you can put your parentheses there. Keep, change, change. Or think of adding the opposite. So negative 15, we're going to add the opposite of positive 25, which is negative 25. Now we follow the rules for integer addition. Same signs, you sum. So 25 plus 15, can add that. 25 plus 15, 5 and 5 makes 10, 2, 3, 4. So this is going to be negative 40 because both numbers are negative. A couple more examples here. Positive 7 minus positive 42. So keep, change, change. Keep the positive 7, change your subtraction to addition, change the sign of your second number to be the opposite. This is positive, so it becomes negative. And so now we solve. We have different signs, so we have to take their difference. So you have to do 42, take away 7. Okay, gotta borrow. 12 minus 7 is 5. 3 minus nothing is 3. So this is going to be negative 35 because the negative one was bigger. Another example. Negative 13 minus negative 11. Keep, change, change. Keep the negative 13. Change your subtraction to be addition. Change this guy's sign. It's negative, so now it becomes positive. So now we follow our rules for adding integers. This is negative, that's positive. They have different signs, so we have to take their difference. 13 minus 11 gives you 2. And it's going to be a negative 2 because your negative number has the bigger value. Okay, so you should be able to see the pattern by now. And now we're going to try a few word problems. Now the word problems, you don't need to write down all these words because that's going to take you forever. But you need to understand the process and write down some notes possibly on some words that might mean something. So the elevation in Alabama is 2,407 feet, and the elevation in California is negative 282 feet. What is the difference between the two elevations? What does difference mean? Difference means to subtract. So write that down. Difference means to subtract. And you're always going to do the higher number minus the lower number. So you have 2,407, that's the higher number because it's positive, and we're going to take away the lower number, negative 282, and we know it's lower because it's negative. So you have 2,407 minus negative 282. We have a subtraction problem, so we have to follow the rules. Keep, change, change. So it's 2,407 plus 282. So now it's an integer addition problem. They both have the same sign. They're both positive. So we add them. Okay, 7 and 2 is 9. 8 and 0 is just going to be 8. 2 and 4 will give you 6. And then the 2,000 didn't have anything to add with. So the difference between the two elevations is 2,689 feet. And if you actually look at this on a kind of like something like a thermometer, a little picture, you'll be able to see that the actual distance, remember difference means you're finding the distance between. So California's down here at negative 282 and Alabama's up here at 2,407. And this right here is 0. So from negative 282 to 0, the distance is 282 feet. Remember, distance is not negative. It's always positive. It's the absolute value. And then from here down to 0, that's 2,407. And you're looking for the difference, which means the total distance between the two. It's actually the sum of those two distances, which comes out to be 2,689 feet. So whenever you have an elevation problem or a temperature problem, you need to draw yourself a picture like this. You always have to put 0 in the middle. Anything negative goes below, anything positive goes above. And remember, you're finding the actual distance between both numbers there. Okay, so let's try another one. The sea surface temperatures range from negative 2 degrees Celsius to 31 degrees Celsius. Determine the difference between the maximum and minimum temps. Maximum means highest, and minimum means lowest. And we have to determine the distance, the difference between the two. So let's draw a picture. The highest one is 31 degrees Celsius. So that's 31 above 0. The lowest is negative 2 degrees Celsius, so that's 2 degrees below 0. So from negative 2 to 0, that's 2. And from 0 to 31, that's 31. So looking ahead, our answer would be the addition of these two, which is 33. So let's write our actual problem. The difference, which means subtracting, between the maximum and the minimum. You see how maximum comes first? That's the number that's going to come first. So maximum was 31, and we are taking away the minimum, which was negative 2. And we have to write this as an addition problem. So keep, change, 31 plus positive 2, which is 33. Okay, another word problem here. We'll be done soon. Lacey starts the day with an overdraft of $12. Overdraft, that's not a good thing. So this is negative 12. She then writes a check for $15. Remember, writing a check, that's negative. So this is negative 15. Later, she deposits $10 in her account, so that's adding 10. What is her new checking account balance? We're going to write this as a problem from left to right. So she starts with negative 12. Then she takes out another 15, takes away another 15, and then she's going to add in $10. So we have to work these from left to right, left to right. So we're going to start with this one. We see it's subtraction, so we're going to use keep, change, negative 12 plus a negative 15. That's going to be together a negative 27. And then we add 10 to that. They have different signs, so we're going to take their difference. So it's going to be negative 17 because you keep the sign of the larger number. So overall, her new balance is going to be negative $17 at the end of the day. A couple more examples here. We're going to work left to right. Always start left to right. Negative 12 minus negative 2. Underline that part. We're going to do keep, change. Negative 12 plus positive 2. That's going to be negative 10 because they have different signs. So you have to subtract, keep the sign of the larger number. Then we have plus 7. So negative 10 plus 7, they have different signs. Subtract. That's 3. Keep the sign the larger. It's negative, so it's negative 3. Negative 2 minus 9. Start with that one. You do keep, change, change. It's negative 2 minus positive 9. So it's negative 2 plus negative 9. They have the same sign, so you add them. And they're both negatives. It's going to be negative 11. And then you're taking away negative 4. That's the rest of the problem, bringing this part down. Again, this is subtraction, so we have to do another keep, change, change. So it's negative 11 plus positive 4. They have different signs, so we will subtract, which is 7. Keep the sign larger, which is negative. So that's negative 7. And then our last example, 6 plus negative 7. We're going to take their difference because they have opposite signs. So this is going to be negative 1. Then you're taking away negative 14. This is a subtraction problem, so we have to do keep, change, change. So negative 1 plus positive 14. They have different signs, so you subtract. You keep the sign the larger one. It's positive, so our final answer is positive 13. And that's it for today.